Good evening and welcome to Race Spec Esports European Series on PS4. Today we're at Monaco for round 6 of the championship. Last week we were at Spain, but unfortunately I was unable to attend the race, so that one didn't get broadcast. So we're back today after missing that race. So apologies for not having a stream for that one. But Monaco is a place we definitely want to capture. So, some of the drivers are making their way out onto track now. So we've got a field of 10 drivers today. So we've got Vitod, Curbold, TNR Tonus, who joins back with us after a bit of a break. He was with us for the first race. So he's missed all the races since Melbourne. Ruslands, SHR Ninja, Cruel Edo, George Zord, Bilal Bale, VRT Westy, and Craig Tommy Pugh is our 10 driver field today. Looks like we've got a bit of a sound glitch. I'm just going to try and fix that quickly. I'm right on board with someone. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, we're just going to have to go without sound after this qualifying session. I believe it comes back as soon as the last drivers cross the finish line. So yeah, we'll just press on. I can hear the radio announcer, or the track announcer. That's all the sound we get, unfortunately, in the cars. We can't hear. So it looks like a lot of guys on their first flying run here. We've got Vitod, Curabold heading up the hill into Casino. And SHR Ninja's actually put a time on the board already, a 1:10.2. It's a pretty good first lap. So there's some slower guys. I mean, not some slow guys, maybe some guys on their out lap. Oh, as Westy does 1:9.9, so that's very close to the top already. Cruel with a 1:10.8. Oh, that was on the medium tyre too, so pretty good time from Cruel. Looks like there's a yellow flag coming up. I think it might just be someone going slow towards the end of the lap, letting someone pass. Oh, bit of wall there, so we'll see what Kurabol can do. Oh, Jorzord has actually put it in the wall. I'm sure he'll be able to get it out from there and keep going. So across the line, coming up now. That's a 1:12.3, so Kurabol will be looking to improve on that one. Tonus put in a 1:11.1, Vitod with a 1:11.5, and Bilal Bell also on the mediums with a 1:12.1, not too shabby on that set of tyres. Okay, get that out of the way. Yeah, it's a shame about the sound. It's a bit of a weird glitch. We also had this same glitch in the Pacific Series. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. I can't remember it happening earlier in the season, so maybe it's a new glitch with one of the latest updates or something. But yeah, it does come back for the end of the session as soon as the last driver crosses the line, as I said. So we'll have it back for the race. And everyone's in the pits except Bilal Bale at the moment. So everyone's had a first run. Looks like Rusland, George Ord and Craig are the guys that haven't quite set a time yet. I should also mention that Race Spec as a community, we've dedicated round 6 of all the regional series. So that's the European series that we're watching at the moment, and also the Pacific and America series on every platform. So there's 12 different leagues across all platforms and regions. And yeah, we've dedicated round 6 at Monaco to Antoine Hubert, who I'm sure if you're watching, you'd be familiar that yeah, he unfortunately lost his life in a really tragic crash at Spa in the F2 race. So yeah, I think the whole racing community was in shock at the loss of life on the racetrack over the weekend. It was just super sad. I'm so glad that no one else was taken from us that in that incident. It looks like Craig might have invalidated his lap there in the first corner. We'll see if he presses on. So yes, round 6 Monaco is dedicated to Antoine, and you'll see most of the most of the drivers sport a pink and white helmet as a tribute to him. So we're doing that in all the races at Monaco. You can see Craig's helmet there, pink and white. So it looks like he has pressed on his lap. Oh, okay. We just caught the end of an incident there. I'm not sure what happened. George Ord, he's on a lap, and maybe just getting in the way was SHR Ninja actually. So yeah, we'll see if the McLaren boys can put some times on the board this run. And Craig's D rating, he's got no battery left. And it looks like he did not put a time together. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I think he invalidated that one. See if George can get on the board here. He does with a 1:12.8. Ruslan and Craig are still the only drivers yet to set time. Ruslan's still in the pits at this stage. Do have SHR Ninja on a lap. Hopefully he didn't get wing damage with that little collision. And he's got no battery left, if that telemetry is correct. So not quite sure. No, that can't be right, because it's saying he's used it up all his deployment, which I'm not sure you can by sector 2. So we'll just ignore that. It's inaccurate. He's wearing a very bright pink helmet, which is good to see. He has backed out of this lap. His sun might just be cooling down. As Cruel Edo goes second fastest with 110.0. So he's only a 10th off a provisional bowl Theo Westy at the moment. Tonus on the outlap. Looks like Kurabold's on he's also on a cool down lap, so he's gone 4th fastest. I think I missed that. Who else do we have on a lap? Looks like Bilal Bale's on a lap, so we'll just catch the last sector with him. Driver's trying to get out of the way. I think Tonus is about to start a lap here. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll stay out of the way. Yeah. It's all fine. Let's see what Bilal Bell can do coming up to the line. Goes 4 fastest, 1:10.6. So he improves quite a bit. We'll now jump on with Tonus and follow his lap around. We've got SHA Ninja coming up. Hopefully he jumps out of the way, does he? Oh, I think his car was ghosting. He's on an outlap. Let's see what Tonus can do. Ooh, bit of a spin there. I believe Tonus is meant to be in Alfa Romeo, but he's been put in the Toro Rosso. I don't think he selected his car in the lobby, come to think of it, so that might be why. But nonetheless, he'll score points for Alfa Romeo. All drivers will score points this evening as long as they finish the race. So I don't know what the likelihood of that is. Looked like he was getting out of shape there for a second, but 1:10.8, so he improves quite a bit. Apologies for the lag. I am in Australia compared to these guys, obviously racing European series. Quite far away from me, so see what SHR Ninja can do. Got a bit less lag here. Not sure if he's on a run or not. He's in hot lap mode, so I think he might be in a lap. His driver's constantly changing something on the steering wheel, which is a bit weird watching this, but I can't really tell if he's on a lap. He's in hot lap mode, but yeah, he's up 1.9 seconds on his previous lap, so 1.9, sorry. No, he's backed out. Okay, and he just got a 5 great place grid penalty for a collision with Tonus, so I don't know what happened there. That was bizarre. Okay, I can't move up. Oh, it was cruel. Now puts in the fastest lap with 19.9. Oh my god! Look at the gap at the top. That's 1/1000th of a second. That is incredible. Wow! If pole goes down to 1/1000th of a second, that's insanely close. Well, that's as close as you can get without being level. So yeah, incredible. I'll just go back and put on fast lap again. Craig's on a outlap. George is on a flying lap by the look of it. So we'll see what he can do. Russell's the only guy yet to set a time. Comes through the final few turns now, and he's dived into the pits, so he wasn't on the final. Russell is in the pits, Vuitton's in the pits, Craig also. Oh, what's Craig doing? I've got this weird thing where I can't go past someone. Okay, I'm not sure what Craig's car's doing, but I can't select it. A couple of guys on outlaps. Kurbold. Not sure what he's doing. Looks like his battery's pretty low, so I think he might just have done a lap. Oh yeah, I think he did. I think he improved by a couple of tenths. Bilal Bell, he's ready to go on another flying lap. Yes, I think the drivers will be coming out of the pits to do their final runs in the next kind of 30 seconds, but we've got a couple of guys ready to go now, so Westy's just about to start his lap. And up to Sandervot, turn 1, up the hill. Oh, just clips the inside of the wall there, try and take it too tight. It'll hurt him a little bit, and he's up on his time, a 10th, but he's still going, so it's not too bad. Should be able to find some time other places of the track. That's all very nice through the middle sector there into the tunnel now. Down into the Novell chicane, nice and tight line. Very nice. Ooh, he's just up on his time, half a 10th. Can he find any extra time in this last part of the track? Keeps it very tight through there. Last corner now. On the gas. Is he going to improve on that 199? He does. He goes a 10th fastest. He puts in a 198. So that's good enough for pole position at the moment. Cruel is on his out lap. SHR Ninja's also on his flying lap, so we'll finish his lap with him. Oh, he's retired, so he must have invalidated or been down on his time, so you can't do any better than P3. Hopefully that car doesn't get in the way of other drivers. Bilbao on a lap. Is he? No, that's definitely not a flying lap. Yeah, it's quite slow. Tonus on the flying lap as well. See what he can do. See if he can get near the front. Do a bit of lag with him, unfortunately. Oh, yellow flags after 3. Oh, not sure if that actually happened, but seeing Tonus hit the wall quite hard. B-Todd's retired from the session after going 4th fastest, the 1:10.4. See if Tones can do any better than that. It does. He goes top with also a 1:09.8. So just 2/100ths of a second at the top, very top. Cruel is probably the last chance to see if someone else can snatch pole. He's a 10th up on his time. Oh, he's clipped inside of the wall there. Oh, very unlucky. He was on for pole. Unfortunately, he will have to settle for P3. Oh no, and that's hurt Rustland. I didn't catch whether there was actually a collision there, but that's hurt Rustland. But that's kind of. And Cruel was disqualified, so I don't know if he'll actually come 3rd now. And there's the sound back. Well, very dramatic ending to that qualifying session. So I have to wait and see if Cruel picks up that 3rd spot. Yeah, no, he didn't, because he was parked in a dangerous location, so that disqualification has moved him from 3rd to last. Rustland unable to get in a time, and SHL Ninja picking up that very odd penalty. We were riding on board with him entering the pits, and the game gave him a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Tonus, I believe. So Tonus actually goes on to set the fastest time with a 1:09.8 from Westy on the front grid. Front row, sorry. So that will be the front 2. I wonder what the weather's going to be like for the race. Looks like it's clear. So that's a very unfortunate end to that session for Crueletto, who looked like he was on a lap that could have challenged for pole position. He just clipped inside of the barrier, and it's put him into the wall. And I think he didn't realise that he had to get his car out of that wall, or otherwise he'd be disqualified. So unfortunately, that's what happened. Drivers just selecting their race strategy before the race. I can confirm we have some engine and car noise, which is great. Okay, so the starting grid today is Tonus, joined by Westy on the front row of the grid. Then on the second row we have Vtod and Kuribold. So both Ferraris on the front two rows of the grid. Third row of the grid sees Blair Vale in fifth place next to Craig Tommy Pugh in the first of the McLarens. And then we have in seventh George Ord in the other McLaren. And then we have the Renault pairing of SHR Ninja and Russellins. And then Crueletto rounds out the field, of course, with that being disqualified, unfortunately. Looks like Westy has gapped himself a bit from Tonus, so hopefully he doesn't get disqualified from the formation lap for being too far back. I don't think that's actually happening, guys, so okay, so the drivers are coming back onto the pit straight now, reforming the grid. Okay, we got a horrible camera angle for the start, unfortunately. There's the lights coming on. There we go. We do have a better view now. 3 lights, 5 lights are on. And away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix, round 6 of the European Series Tier 1. And VRT Westy's got the better of Tonus in turn 1. Tonus has up the hill, Vtod behind. So it's Westy with the great start. He jumps to up into first place. They all look like they're getting through cleanly. I'm not sure what happened to SHR Ninja at the start. He's dropped back a couple of places. Yeah, he's lost two positions at the moment. So it all look like they're through the Novel chicane cleanly. So SHR Ninja, the big loser. I don't know what happened at the start of the race for him, but he's got a lot of catching up to do. Very weird. So Westy leads him away from Tonus. He's already got a 1 second gap. Then back in third we have Vtod. Kuribold in fifth. Okay, SHR Ninja's just gone to the front. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Martin Meow's at the back again. I think it might have a glitched car, unfortunately, so I don't think he's at the front or the back. It's just glitched for us. So Blair Bell, Craig Tommy Pugh, George Ord and Crueletto all sticking within about a second of each other, and Ruslan as well in ninth position. Oh, he's got a great run on Crueletto. Let's see if we can get a move done into the Novel chicane. No, not quite close enough there. Everyone's still got a lot of battery left. The DRS enabled this lap on lap 3 of the 39 lap race as Tony sets the fastest lap of the race. You're just starting to spread that a little bit westy with the 1.1 second gap, and Tonus about a second and a half back, I think it is now. And then VTOD 1.2 seconds back, and then Kuribold, Bilal Bell, Craig Tommy Pugh is now 2.5 seconds behind Bilal Bell, so the gap opening up. George Zord and Crueletto and Ruslan still right on the back wall. He's very, very close now. He should be able to make a move. There's a bit of contact, there's a bit squeezed. Oh, there's a bit of an incident there. Crueletto picks up a 10-second penalty for cutting that corner, but yeah, looks like Ruslan didn't pick up damage, which is fortunate for him in that incident. Crueletto not so lucky. His right side of his wing is very damaged. There's no end plate on there. See if he jumps into the pits. Yeah, he does. So Ruslan can press on, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's okay. So on he goes. The gap is it's kind of just stabilising at the moment. We're 1.5 seconds westy back to Tonus. VTOD's actually caught Tonus a little bit. As Craig picks up a penalty. SHR Ninja actually with the fastest lap that time around. The Crueletto's gone onto the hard compound tyres, which you probably try and make the rest of the end of the race with, which is more than possible, I think. So he's all over the back of SHR Ninja. I think SHR Ninja's car's glitched for us. It was showing that he was disconnected on Crueletto's screen there, so I'm not sure if he's still in the race or not. We'll just have to press on and assume that he is still running. It did say he set the fastest lap last time around, so he must be still in the race. At the front three, the gap's pretty stable at 1.5 seconds between the three of them. And then we have Kuribold as well on the back of VTOD and Bilal Bale as well. So we've got a train of 5 cars at the front of the pack here. And then it's a 5-second gap back to 6th place. Craig Tommy Pugh, George Zord 1.3 seconds back from his teammate. lots of incidents already. I'm just checking. So Cruletto has a 10-second penalty, Kurbold 3 seconds, and Westy 3 seconds already. So, and Craig as well. So Westy leading the race, but already has a 3-second time penalty. Kurbold now picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Ninja's been in the pits and he's out on the hard compound tyre. So something must have happened here. He might have needed a front wing change. Oh, Westy's now into pit, so something must happen to him as well. He's now onto the hard tyres. Okay, so lap 7's usually a little bit early to pit. You want to be trying to go to lap 12 at least on the soft compound tyres. They do last that long, so I'm assuming that a couple of these guys had an issue and maybe got some damage. So Tonus now leads the pack. Oh, it's cool. Edo makes a move. Okay, no move there. Apologies for my jumping around. Looks like this is the closest battle on track at the moment. With Bilal Bale right on the back of Kurbold. Ooh, Bilal gets very close there. Kurbold had to cover him off. Let's see, riding up the hill. Can you find a gap anywhere? Maybe on the inside of... I believe that's Massantini. Down into Mirabeau now. Oh, he's gone for the lunge. There's not really room there. Oh, and both drivers. It's a bit of a little hog jam. Oh, that's all very messy from both drivers. I think maybe you have to look at Bill Elval there and say that, yeah, while there's a gap in front of him, the Grand Hotel hairpin is not the place you want to be sticking your car. There's not room for two cars to go around there side by side, so I think the stewards might be looking at that one if there's an incident report submitted. We'll see if either driver needs to pit for damage here. Looks like both of them will be pitting. No penalties, which is great, but that's hurt both their chances of winning this race now. Let's see who makes it out of the pits first. New front wings for both guys, hard tyres for Kurbold and medium tyres for Bilal Bale. So they come out nose to tail again, so they'll resume rivalry. So that makes it all but 3 drivers yet to pit in this race. So VTOD now taking the lead. I missed it, but Tonus has also pitted this lap. So he's come out 5 seconds behind Westy. George Odd, Craig Tommy Pugh. Still ahead of Westy. VTOD in pretty good position here. Ooh, if you can keep it out of the wall. George Odd picks up a 3-second penalty. So like I said, it's usually between lap 12 and 14 that people like to pit. As Craig's into the pits. I just saw Westy get past him there. Oh, looks like... I was going to say the pit crew weren't ready for him. They went out, but yeah, looks like that wasn't the case. So away he goes. Also onto the hard tyre. And comes up just behind Cruletto. lost it! Oh, I think he only tapped the back end, so I don't think he'll have any wing damage from that. So it's allowed Kurabal to catch right up to the back of him. Kurabal's been able to gap himself from below Bale a little bit after those two pitted, so his fresh tyres working wonders. Well, SHR Ninja's in the wall. I'm quite sure if his car's still going. I have no idea what's going on with him. I think he's a bit glitched for us. VTOD in the lead of the race now from Westy and Tonus. Go back to this battle with Kurabolan, who's right behind Craig. Both on fresh tyres after making pit stops. Kurabol's actually had to make, oh sorry, I was about to say he had to make two stops, so that's how many laps he's done on the set of tyres. So SHR Ninja still holds the fastest lap of the race at this stage. So you can see there, everyone except VTOD has been into the pits. Oh, looks like Westy's back into the pits. Oh, Westy's left the session. Okay, that's might be a bit of a disconnection issue there for Westy. I'm not sure what happened. There wasn't any a front wing change at that pit stop for him, so it looks like he's just disconnected, unfortunately. It's horrible luck for Westy. I'm not sure I can invite him back. I can't. It has to be a driver that invites him back into the session. So his car will ghost for the rest of the race unless he can rejoin, unfortunately. So Bale has managed to get around Craig. Just missed that, apologies. This 4-car train. So Westy from the lead of the race is now basically out of contention after his disconnection issues, and his AI ghost car made another pit stop. I'm not sure why that would have been, but very unfortunate for Ferrari driver. He was on for his for another victory, or a victory. I'm not sure if it was would have been his first. Car's still ghosting, so unable to join back. Oh, look at it, Well Bale now all over the back of Kurabal. These guys are going to resume. Ooh, I think you'll think better of sticking it down into the hairpin now, or wow, just nudges the back of him now. I hope that wasn't any wing damage for the Huff's man. Oh, it's a brave move. Can get it done. Kurabal gets a time penalty and squeezes him on the exit. I think there might be damage for both guys again. Those guys back at it. Oh, it was Craig. Craig's gone into a spin. Not sure what happened there. Jawshold has damage. Kurabal's back into the pits. Well, Bale's back into the pits. These guys will be running out of tyres and front wings soon. It's all a bit messy in the midfield at the moment. Still plenty of positions and points for up for grabs as Craig pushes on with that wing damage. Looks like he's got substantial wing damage on both sides, so I think his teammate had to pit, so unfortunately he had to press on for another lap. So hopefully he can get around and not lose too much time before pitting again. But news. Oh no, George didn't have to pit again. So Craig probably should have pitted that lap with all that damage. Not sure what kind of condition that oh yeah, George's wings in a horrible state as well. There's no end plates on either side. So in all the madness, VTOG's been able to keep it clean and just pitted onto medium compound tyres, and he'll be going to the end on those tyres. Coolito in second place, and Tonus is our race leader. George is into pits to fix that broken wing, and Craig is as well. They've had to double stack, so it's a disaster for McLaren. One of them really should have pitted last lap, but anyway, maybe they couldn't get their alternate strategy. Or that's a very long pit stop for Craig. Unfortunately, he's going to come out in the last position. But hopefully, he'll press on and realise that a couple of guys are basically out of the race. So Westy's car's still ghosting. He won't score any points unless he rejoins the race. Just wait for the intervals to refresh, see which is the closest battle on track. That's the fastest lap of the race. So bonus point will be going to him at this point. Did he just put in the wall there? Not sure if he just touched the wall. Doesn't look like there's damage. Coolado picks up a 3-second time penalty. We're not even half race distance yet. This 39 lap race, we're only on lap 17. Just starting lap 17. I think Kurabal just hit the wall in the entry of the tunnel then as well, so he's all over the place at the moment. Hillel Bowers close right up to the back of Russell, who's about to pass Westy's Ghost. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to drive straight through him. Yep. And Hillel same thing. So he's closed right up to the back of Russell now. Ooh, as Russell runs it a bit deep into God, what's that corner called? Mirabo. So, a little bit of a new battle here. Russell on 10 lap old hard tyres versus Hillel on 3 lap younger, or young, medium compound tyres. So the speed advantage will definitely be with Bilbao at this point of their stint. Oh, Kurbold is up alongside. Can he get the move done? No, he's squeezing him out. That's good defending from Bilbao there. Those two have been like magnets to each other so far in this race, battling and both having to make extra pit stops already for new front wings. I believe that's the contact on the wall there. Oh, as Bilbao goes for the move down the inside again at the hairpin. He hasn't learned his lesson from that. Kurbold right on the back of him now. Thankfully, I don't think there was any damage to Russell or Bilbao from that move. It was good to see some battling. Oh, Kurbold had to back off then. Just got a better run then. Oh, he picks up a time penalty. Oh, he sent it, and he's damaged his wing again. Oh, looks like Russell did have wing damage from that incident at the hairpin. So I wonder if the stewards will be looking at that. Oh, these two just keep coming together. Kurbold sent it into the Portier, I think it was, at the end of the last lap. So both these guys with more damage, and that's enabled Jawtor to close right back up onto him. George just dropped off the back of these guys for the moment. He's just hanging about. It's Bilbao pressing on with that wing damage. To the left there. Mustn't be too bad. He must be confident he can get around. Not sure if we'll just want... Yeah, Kurubal's got the same damage on the left hand side, so both these guys now. Let's check how many pit stops they've done. They've both done two stops so far and had to replace wings, so I want to make sure that they don't get too much damage. We'll see if Bilbao sends it on Kurbold this time. No, it doesn't. Thinks better of it, maybe not close enough anyway. But yeah, some pretty desperate lunges into the hairpin. Probably go against I guess what you'd expect to be normal. Like everyone knows that's probably not the place, even though there might be space. That's probably not the place to try and get a move done, just because there's no room, and it's always going to end with usually both drivers getting wing damage. So. This is the closest battle on track at the moment. Tonus has a 6.7 second lead, and younger tyres than Coolletto as well. VTOD might be catching Cool actually on those 8-lap old medium tyres, so keep an eye on that gap at the front. But we'll just we'll follow these three drivers who are pretty close together at the moment. Through the tunnel, Curvold followed by Bilal and George Ord. Oh, Bilal got very close, and I think there might have been a little bit of contact. George Ord's just watching this battle from behind these guys, keeping it clean, so he probably knows that these guys have damage, but I think it might be inevitable that they come together again, so his best strategy might just be to stick with these guys, and when they do maybe come together, just to take advantage of it then. So up the hill we go into Massenet. SHI Ninja's car getting in the way there. Russell with the fastest lap of the race, so extra point with him at the moment. Well, they're really close now to Curvold. Can he get some slipstream and make a lunge for it? Curvold goes very defensive, and looks like Bilbao's overshot the short, or he's taken a penalty for corner cutting and multiple warnings. I think he might be a bit faster than these guys ahead of him. He just can't get past, so I wonder if George has the confidence to try and make a move on Bilbao and get past him. He hasn't quite been close enough yet, but gets a bit of oversteer through the last corner, and it's just to catch it okay. guy's just fallen off the back of Kurbold a little bit, but it looks like Lilmel might be slowly catching. As SHR Ninja's car just set the fastest lap of the race. Oh, he's back. I think he's back. Is he back? I can't tell. He's definitely not in second place, so. I don't know what's going on with that car. It's been glitched all day. So, yeah. It's a shame. Westy is in last place. Ooh, as Crueletto picks up a 3-second time penalty, so second place might come down to penalties yet. With Vitold only a few seconds back from him. I'm just right on board with Craig, but it's like this 3-car pack is still the closest faction on track we have at the moment. So Bilal has caught back up to Kurbold. He's about half a second back from him now. So nose to tail, these three guys are still. We're on lap 28 of 39. So nearly 3/4 distance at the moment. Kurbold with the pink helmet in memory of Antoine Hubert. It's been an epic battle between Kurbold and Bilal Bale, that's for sure. Ooh, is Bilal Bale going to send it here? Ooh, I think he's realised that that's not the place to get a move done now. So he's going to have to do it somewhere else and get a great exit here. See if he's close enough. Kurbold might feel the need to go defensive. No, he's alright. Oh, there's a bit of a lunge and there's contact again. They both pick up penalties for that one. And now Jawzor's down the inside. Jawzor's through on Bilal Bale. So that little lunge from Bilal Bale has cost him a position in the end. I think Jawzor keeps hitting neutral in that second last corner. So can Jawzor, oh no, he's just collected the ball there. You hope there's not damage on that McLaren. And Bilal Bale's into the pits. So he's had enough. He wants to get that front wing changed and go onto the soft compound tyres, and he'll have a good chance at the fastest lap now as well. But he'll come back out in 9th position. So he's lost a whole heap of spots, but yeah, just could not get past Kurbold today. See if Jawzor and Kurbold on really similar lap tyres, just Jawzor's 1 lap younger. So pretty much the same for those guys. Let's see if Curebold, of course, with that wing damage on the left-hand side, as you can see there. Jawzord's wing looks relatively clean in comparison. He did click the wall at turn 1 on this lap, but I don't think, it doesn't look like there's any damage done. Oh, it looks like he tapped it again there. He wants to be careful. This is still the closest battle on track at the moment. Worth keeping a close eye on the gaps at the front too. Looks like Crueletto's been able to close the gap to the leader, Tonus, ever so slightly. Now only 4 seconds back, so I don't know if Tonus had any issues. Crueletto's pace looks like it's been pretty solid because he's pulled an extra 3 seconds on B-side behind him, who's on. Oh, there's a bit of front wing there, I think Jawzord. Yeah, Jawzord just clipped the barrier on the exit of Portier as he picks up another penalty. So, it's really disappointing for the McLaren driver who's on for P5. We'll see if he has to make an extra pit stop or whether he can carry on. He does have an 8-second gap back to Rustland at the moment, so if he can hang on for just 7 more laps, then he will take 5th position. But his chances of getting around Curebold now have diminished. I'm not sure if this is SHR Ninja's actual position or was Curebold pushes past. I think that's our glitched car that session. Yeah, I do believe that Renault car is glitched for us. I'm not sure if he's. Oh, Monaco. Yeah, I think that's just confirmed that it is glitched as he goes spinning in. I think that was the 720, 3 rotations. And now the game's put him back in the lead. So yeah, all sorts of weird stuff happening with that car. Tonus carrying on in the lead, just 6 laps left now after this one. George so many penalties, we want to be careful that he doesn't lose positions because of that penalty, because of all those penalties he's picking up, or even worse, getting disqualified from all those penalties. Our leader has been fairly dominant today. He got pole position and saw off an early challenge from Westy, who did take the lead on the first lap, but had his own issues and then disconnected, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Unfortunately, couldn't stay in the race with us. Oh, we've got some glitch sound for Tonus, so we'll just skip his car, but Cooleto's had a great race as well in P2. It's just 3.5 seconds behind now. So I wonder if he's on much older tyres though, 5 lap older tyres. I remember he did have to fit fairly early on for wing damage, so he's kept it clean since then. And those hard tyres should last the distance, no problem. He's actually bringing the gap to Tonus down now. It's now 2.5 seconds, so could we possibly see a battle for the lead in the last 4 laps here? Looks like he's pushing pretty hard. It's nearly down to 2 seconds. He'll be able to see the back of the Toro Rosso very, very soon, and that'll give him motivation to close that gap even further. VTOD is pretty content in P3. Happy to pick up a podium. All he's got to do is keep it clean for another 4 laps. And we have this massive gap back to Curabol. Nearly a 40-second gap back. Curabol carrying wing damage, but he should be able to hang on for P4. Same with Jawzord carrying wing damage in P5. I'm sure the condition of Ruslan's car is... Let's see if we can get a look. Yeah, he's missing a bit of end plate on the left hand side as well, maybe possibly on the right hand side as well. Yeah, he's got wing damage on both sides. So Bilal Bale might yet catch up to him if he does not have wing damage. I don't think he does. Look, he's got both end plates on that Haas car. So on those soft tyres that are only 6 laps old, he might be catching Ruslan at a rate of knots here. 3.7 seconds the gap at the moment as SHR Ninja's car is in the pits. Craig Tommy Pugh having a bit of a lonely race back in 8th position. Still good points for the McLaren driver. He has a bit of wing damage as well. It's too late in the race now to box for new wings. He's just got to carry on and stick it out. So the gap at the front now, 1.4 seconds. So Crueletto is closing it up. Bilal Bale also catching Ruslan's. So this is intriguing. Does Tonus have wing damage? Does he clip the wall somewhere? And is that costing him time? He might just be conserving fuel and battery. I'm not quite sure, but just try and get a glimpse of his front wings, see if he's got any damage. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I'm not quite sure who that was. It didn't last too long. Let's see if we can didn't quite get a good look at his front wing there, but it looked okay to me. That's a better shot. Oh, yeah, his front wing's fine. Just got a bit of lag with him, unfortunately, but that gap now down to a second, so keep an eye on that. But Bilal Bale also nearly within a second of Ruslan for P6. Yellow flag, sector 2. Not quite sure who that might be. It's SHR Ninja's car, maybe. Gets out of the way. Well, looks like Cruel's had a moment, or Tonus has put the hammer down, because that gap at the front is now 2.7 seconds, so it looks pretty safe at this point. Oh, Bilal and Ruslan, they're quite slow through the Novell chicane there. Looks like Bilal actually picked up damage somewhere along the line in the last couple of laps as well. Will he be able to get a move on Ruslan? Done. 2 laps to go. Ruslan's got wing damage on both sides. It's very slow through Forcier. Bilal too far back to get a run on him for this lap. As they start the second last lap here. It's been a long old race at Monaco, but an entertaining one. We've had lots of drama, lots of incidents. I'm sure the stewards will be very, very busy after this one. We'll just have to wait and see what our finishing order is. We've still got to take into account penalties as well, of which there should be plenty for most of the drivers. I've seen pick up penalties. I think Tonus is the only one I haven't seen pick up penalties, so Bilal picks up another penalty, speaking of. So it might come down to who has less penalties between these two, but for P6. Oh, there's Tonus's first warning, first penalty, I believe. So he'll be going on to start the final lap now. Oh, sorry, he's well and truly on the final lap. He's coming through the last couple of corners in Portier. It's been a dominating performance from the Alfa Romeo driver in the Toro Rosso today. He wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Crueletto comes home in P2. Vitod will come home in P3. That's your podium. Oh, and Vitod actually moves up into P2 because of penalties. So I said penalties could come into effect at the end, and certainly have. And we've got to change the position on the podium. And now we've got a very long wait back to our P4 driver, Kurabold, at the moment. Penalties yet could come into any position on track here. So Kurabold comes across the line. I think he'll finish P4. I don't think SHR Ninja will finish. Oh, and George Lord finishes P6, P5. Bilal Bale P8, and that's it. Okay. That's everyone across the line. So that's been the Monaco Grand Prix. Action-packed. A bit hard to tell who finished where in the end. So our podium today was Tonus, followed by Vitod and Crueletto. Congratulations to those guys. Okay, so that is our finishing order. Tonus, Vitod, Crueletto, FHR Ninja showing in P4, but I'm really not sure where he finished. I think he was a glitch car for me. So we'll have to wait and see what the results look like for other drivers. Ruslan's in P5 for now, Kurabold in P6, George Lord in P7, Bilal Bale in P8, and Craig Tommy Pugh in P9. Westy disconnecting from the race. So that has been round 6 of the European Series Tier 1. In memory of Antoine Hubert. So thank you for joining us on the stream. I hope you enjoy the race. Plenty of action on track. So we'll see you next time for round 7 at Canada. See you next time.